All right, it's a Saturday morning, or no, it's a Saturday evening. I'm going to do rice and peas, Jamaican rice and peas. I have completed my oxtail stew. Uh, it's just been sitting and it's gotten thick. So this is what that looks like. I'm going to stir it up a little bit so you can see it. What I did was I saw somebody who had added hot water to their beans first. And so I just boiled the water first. So what I basically did is I boiled the water. It started boiling quickly in this Dutch oven, so that's a good thing for me. This is oxtail soup. Stew is thickened now. It smells absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna put my peas in. What I didn't do last time, I did the small beans. Somebody else did the small beans too. What I didn't do last time is I didn't like put all-purpose seasoning like this other person did, and so I'm gonna put the all-purpose seasoning in there. Let this boil. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna go ahead and put the. I had to cut an onion up. I didn't cut the onion up yet, and the garlic cloves. Get that in the water as well. But I'm gonna cut that up real quick. Put the thyme in there. Let that boil with the beans, so we can get ready for the rice. So that's what I'm going to do. I had my onion in my hand, and now my onion might be buried. I was trying to clean my cabinet because I saw something was sticky. So I'm gonna let that. Okay. I'm asking God to show me where I put the onions at. I was ready. I see, some people having stuff all together and ready. I was gonna show you what I use. I'm using jasmine rice, Goya, and riceland mix. We'll see if it makes a big difference. People do clean their rice. I didn't do that last time, but I'm gonna rinse it this time. From what the people I saw, they rinsed their rice. Now I was just peeling the onion, so I don't know how it just disappeared while I is going. Oh, here it is. This is the onion I had. Okay, so let's see. You don't need to look at me. You can look at what I'm doing. That's more interesting. Yeah, you put like 3 cloves of garlic is what they said. Some of these are bigger cloves than others. So I'm going to turn the fire down just a little. I'm going to turn the fire down just until I finished cutting all the onions up in there. So it's the onions and the garlic in there. Gonna cut that up and put that in there. I'm gonna put the thyme in there. They do a lot of cooking with thyme, so thyme is a staple for all the Jamaican cooking that I've seen. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's true, but just from what I've seen, it plays a big part in their cooking. So today was a great day for me. What was the greatest day for me is I was just decided, I'm on a prayer call every Saturday at 8 o'clock. I'm not necessarily the leader of the call, but I facilitate it most times. And the subject, I want to think if I can think about what our subject was, because it was really good. It was really talking about how God is always with us. Like even right now, God is always watching over us, whether we seem like not, but God gives us a free will to choose him or not. He's always wanting us to choose him, and that's the something that I'm really excited about, is just choosing his ways, because he knows what's best. And people will try to trick you and say that's not so. You do things your own way, but you can't trick God, and he knows where everything is. He knows who everybody is, and he knows where you need to go. I think a lot of time we struggle through life when we shouldn't be struggling. It should, yes, be challenging, of course, but some things, if you just trust, that's what we were talking about, resting in God. When you learn how to rest in God, you don't worry about stuff. You don't get excited about stuff. Do you have to correct people? You certainly do. And you do that. But it's a different sense because you're following the leading of God about how to deal with the different challenges that you're facing. So today, after I got done, I originally had planned on having breakfast with one of my dear friends because her birthday was last week, but I was not led to do that due to me being up so late cooking the oxtail soup because I had to get the oxtails cooked because I had it out a little bit long, so I had to cook them. So I made the oxtail stew. We had the prayer line. I still ended up getting a chance to talk to her. I was going to go buy myself something. I challenged my staff that everybody had got paid. I said everybody has to buy themselves something, but it can't be food. So they have to buy them something. And sometimes we struggle with getting things for ourselves. So these onions are trying to make me cry. And they're doing a good job because my eyes are watering. I'm going to drop this right into the pot. Drop this onion right here into this pot here. There's the pot right there. There we go. I'm going to crush the garlic. I actually have a garlic crusher. Let me see if I can see it. And that's what I'm going to use instead of doing what they do. Here it is, my Pamper Chef. This is my Pamper Chef tool to crush garlic. So you just put them in there. You really don't have to peel it. It'll peel them for you. And then you just scrape off the peels and it comes right on through. So you just put the garlic in there. Whoop. Just like that. One of the things I learned by watching different people prepare the rice and peas is that the scallions that they use, they crush them up. Like they'll wash them instead of just cutting them. They crush them for the flavor and just put them right in there. And so that's what we're going to do as well. That's the one thing I didn't take out. And see, in here, that's what's left. And you can put that right in the garbage. You pull it right on out. And that goes right in the garbage. That's the skins and peels. So it saves you some time. Get that THME time. But it also saves you time. So it says you should make sure that these peas, and to us it's not peas. These are just red kidney beans, but they're called peas there. We're going to put the thyme in there. And I'm going to put the seasoning in there. All-purpose. Well, before I put the all-purpose in there, I'm going to go ahead and put the onions. The scallion onions. And right here, I got them from Save-A-Lot. I don't know if you have a Save-A-Lot by you. They're in this package. I don't need that many. And what they do is she cleans them. They cleans them and then they just crush, squeeze them. So I'll show you what she showed me. She said to just make sure you get that outer part off of there and you just squeeze them so you can get the taste out of there. And you put your Scotch bonnet pepper in there. I got some pepper that I got from Cermak. I don't know if it's Scotch bonnet or not. And I don't know if I should put it in there or don't put it in there. I just don't know. I don't know because it costs $5.99 a pound. So I think that it must be a very hot, scorching hot pepper. So I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm going to use it or do I got to look it up to see what kind of pepper it is. Because it looks like it's a Scotch bonnet pepper. It looks like it, but it's kind of big. So here is the pepper that I bought from the store. This is this pepper. This is what it looks like. I forget what they called it, but it didn't call it Scotch bonnet. And these are the Scotch bonnet peppers right here. They seem to be a little bit smaller, but I'm sure they probably come in a bigger size. And what she did with this is she just kind of wrung it with her hands like this. She said so you can get all that juice off of that. And I did rinse these off and then just put it in the water. And yep, I do feel it, so it's probably going to cook right in there. And then she put she put 2 teaspoons of all-purpose seasoning in there, and then she put a teaspoon of pepper in there. And so I'm going to put the pepper. I'm just going to put like a half a teaspoon of pepper in there. This particular person likes pepper for whatever reason, but we'll see if it's helpful to us or not. I'm going to put the all-purpose seasoning. There's 2 kinds actually. Someone said get the Goya with the blue top, which I do have. That's it. This is without pepper. Without pepper. This does not have pepper in there, so maybe that's why they want it. And here's the all-purpose with pepper. And then I had to put the allspice balls in there. They call them pimentos, but that's just, for us, that's just allspice balls. Okay, so it has 2 names and they mean the same thing. I also bought coconut milk and coconut cream. I really don't know what the difference is, but I'll be finding out today. I'll find out today what's going to be the difference of those 2. Okay, so we're just going to let that boil and cook. I'm going to turn up the fire a little bit to medium and let that boil. We're going to pause. We're going to pause for a moment. And I just want to, got to put the allspice balls in there. I just didn't do that. My daughter gave me some of these, so put a few of those in there. About 7 or 8. Put them in there. They said to kind of crush them a little bit. Squeeze them, not just let them be. So. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got pimento, which is really allspice balls in there. We're going to let that cook for about an hour. And then let us just go over here and watch this rice while that's happening. And then we'll take a break. So, here's one of my favorite Pamper Chef bowls. I love these bowls. So rinse out the bowl. I did rinse it out earlier. So just going to rinse the rice, and when it's ready, we're going to be putting it in there. We're going to put it in. I'm going to have to get a good strainer though. So they just basically wash the rice. I guess so the water is clear, basically. See what kind of, if I got that smaller strainer. Yeah, I don't know. I think the rice is going to come through. Because I don't have a net strainer. I have that kind, but it's a small one. I'm going to have to find it. Because otherwise, I think this rice is, let's see if it's going to come through or not. You see, these are kind of big, and I don't want the rice to come out the sides because they're so small. Put some water in here, some more water in here. I don't know. It might come through, it might not. The holes might be small enough. This rice is pretty small. The rice is pretty small. And you know, one of those net strainers. My mom used to have those. But I had these little plastic ones with more like colanders is what they call them. Let's see. Yeah, so what we were talking about, yeah, it is coming through a little bit. Definitely coming through. Because the pores are too small. They're real small, so that wasn't the best idea. But it wasn't a lot of it. Okay, got stuff in there. It's clean enough. Alright, so the beans are boiling. They'll probably take an hour and a half. And the rice is clean. So we'll just wait for that to get done, and then we'll come back and put our other seasoning in there. Like she had grated ginger that she put in afterwards once we got the rice in. So once we get the rice, we'll add the ginger. And I probably could have waited for the onions. I think she did that later, but I got them in there now. And I might put some of those other peppers in there, like the yellow and red peppers, just for flavor. We'll see. But we'll pause. No, on my phone, it'll probably stop though.